This is Richard Thorndike with BS News for this Monday, the 7th of February, 2011. And away we go. Dateline, the game formerly known as a word the NFL will sue us if we use. Yesterday, Americans turned on their TVs to see some brutal hits, a certain amount of sloppiness, and a few cheap shots. And then after Bill O'Reilly interviewed President Obama, they played the Super Bowl. If it's surprising that President Obama would take time to answer questions from Bill O'Reilly, it should be remembered that Bill O'Reilly never lets anyone answer. Before the game, Christina Aguilera muffed the lyrics to the national anthem. She may never be asked to ever sing the anthem again, but she's clearly qualified to be Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. Dateline Mad TV. The Super Bowl included its usual roster of high-profile commercials, including one by Eminem for Ice-T, leaving many to wonder why Ice-T wasn't asked to do an ad for M&Ms. Bet you never thought of that. Dateline, let my people go. The personal fortune of Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak is being estimated at some $70 billion with a B dollars. To give you an idea of how much that is, experts say that if spent wisely, $70 billion might actually be enough to get Meg Whitman elected governor of California. Finally, Dateline, a speaking engagement by former President George Bush has been canceled due to fears he could be arrested over allegations of torture. When asked about the canceled trip to Switzerland, Bush said he didn't want to go to Africa anyway. Oh, that's all there is.
I don't know what that means.
Excuse me, Bill, I'm talking. I'm Richard Thorndike.
There's no words on it.
Yes, no, it's my time now. Richard Thorndike.
Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
Whatever.
Yeah, Bill O'Reilly, I don't know if he was in shock. He couldn't believe his good luck, but all of a sudden he's interviewing the President of the United States before the Super Bowl. And it was supposed to be a Q&A, and it wasn't a Q&A. It was a, I'll ask the questions and I'll answer them for you, Mr. President. This was the most bizarre one-sided interview I've ever heard in my life. And, I don't know. O'Reilly it's so full of commentary. He talked about the, it's so interesting to me that you cannot talk about the democracy that is starting to, bubble to the surface at the grassroots level in Egypt if you are a conservative talk show host without trashing the events and saying the Muslim Brotherhood's going to win. Are you rooting for the Muslim Brotherhood? What do you know about the Muslim Brotherhood? Or is it just the name the Muslim Brotherhood is just too irresistible for you? I mean, they're a bunch of old men. I watched Al Jazeera over the weekend as well. And I wanted to see what was really going on with the Muslim Brotherhood. And the Muslim Brotherhood keeps saying, we don't want power. We're not into power. We don't want power. Power is not what we want. It's not anything we want. This is a young person's revolution, and we're just glad that we're not banned anymore, that we're not going to be put in jail anymore, that we're not going to be tortured anymore, that we're not going to be, disappeared anymore. We're really happy that that's not going to happen to us anymore because we're a bunch of old stinking men. We renounced violence in the 70s. Ayman al-Zawahiri hates us because we renounced violence and he wanted to do violence. So he ran off with the Mujahideen, Al-Qaeda guys, the Osama bin Ladens of the world that, Ronald Reagan loved so much. That's where he went. Now, we stayed here and we are just happy that we're not going to be jailed anymore. That's all we're happy about. In fact, today in the New York Times, there's an article about the actual initiators of the Internet protest, the internet protest, how it started and who started it. And it's a bunch of doctors. One guy's a 32-year-old surgeon. Another guy's a lawyer. Another guy is a student. These are like 30-something-year-old people who organized on the internet. And guess what happened? They got thrown in jail. They just got released because the United States has been saying to Hosni, not only do you have to go, but you've got to stop jailing the journalists and the people that disagree with you. Now, that's a lesson Bill O'Reilly needs to learn because Bill O'Reilly cannot sit with people that disagree with him. He sat with the president and he kept insisting that our only choice in Egypt is dictatorship and an oligarch and an autocrat and locking people up in jail who disagree with him and state-run media and a total tyrannical regime or Islamofascism.